Pacty Bay will be on the third episode of Other Voices. One of the other big names playing on Sunday's episode is the British singer Jessie Ware. You met up with her?
Yes, yeah, Jessie, I suppose she's been around for about 3 years now, maybe a bit more successful in the UK than she is here, but she writes R&B pop songs, was kind of inspired by a slightly older era when there was a bit more credibility or respect for pop and for pop singers, and she spoke about the type of artist who influenced her.
I mean, look, I was really young and I wasn't paying attention to Sade's career, but the way that I see it is, and Annie Lennox, but they were making popular pop music, yet they were super cool. They were kind of doing their own thing. It was their own sound. And I think that's definitely been something that I've wanted to try and do. Whether I've been able to achieve that or not is kind of up to others. But I think that thing of not denying the fact that I love a good pop song and embracing that and focusing on where I came from and this dance scene that kind of really pushed me forward. But I mean, it has evolved since, because, you know, on this record I've worked with people like Ed Sheeran and Miguel. These are people that are in very different kind of spheres of music to me, but kind of near enough that we could work together. So, yeah, I just kind of don't want to be pigeonholed, really. But I do love it. I do, you know, I'm very... I find it a compliment when people say that I do sound like a pop person, because I don't think I'm the go-to kind of pop person that you would expect. I'm not Taylor Swift and whatnot, but I do love a good hook.
Jessie Ware there talking to Dylan Haskins about her appearance at Other Voices and indeed her early inspirations. Her second album, Tough Love, she mentions it there, and it's pretty big names involved in collaborating with her on that album, Dylan.
Yeah, she wrote a single called Say You Love Me with Ed Sheeran, and she co-wrote different songs on the album with quite a few other producers. So I asked her what it was that kind of joined them all up and made it a cohesive album.
I think, yeah, it's got to be my voice and me driving it. And there's plenty of songs I wrote that didn't make the record because I didn't feel like they made sense within, like, much bigger songs that probably would help me on the radio far better, but they just didn't sit right. So I think, you know, you work with all these people, you take what you can from them and you enjoy that influence that you've kind of invited them into the room to be a part of. But I think hopefully my voice is the thing that ties it all together, and hopefully there's a cohesiveness with the storytelling, and that hopefully you know it's a Jessie song, whatever that may be. I'm only 2 albums in, but there's something that kind of ties them together, not just my voice, but maybe the kind of active storytelling and stuff like that.
Jessie, we're talking to Dylan Haskins. She's one of the artists you can see on Other Voices this Sunday on RTE2 television at 10 to 11 in the evening. Just thinking about what she said there about her voice and the nature of her music, Dylan, and the Ebay track or singing that we heard earlier, Unadorned, and that beautiful harmony a cappella. You know, it's been another tradition at Other Voices about people go down to the stripped back version. Amy Winehouse springs to mind, Ellie Goulding, Marina and the Diamonds. What is Jessie Ware going to do regarding her sometimes big production?
Yes, and it has worked well with all of those artists you mentioned. It shows a side to them that people don't often get to see, and also to the songs. You know, when they're stripped back without all the bells and whistles, you get to see if the song stands alone on its own. So Jessie spoke to me as well about what we could expect from her set.
I mean, it's so intimate. It's a tiny church. I didn't need to make a big old noise. Hopefully, you know, just let people hear the songs and enjoy that. So yeah, I think it's about the right place at the right time, bringing out all the kind of beats and maybe a bit of backing track. But tonight is not about that.
And that's Jessie Ware talking to Dylan Haskins, and here she is on stage at Other Voices, introducing the song she sang on, or one of the songs she sang on the evening, Wildest Moments.
We had our first ever gig for first ever tour in Dublin, and it started in a place called Sugar Club, and it's this old cinema. I'm sure some of you have been there, and like seated, and it was quite a funny place to start the tour, where it felt like almost like a jazz place, and it was the most amazing evening. And I kind of always have a really soft spot for Ireland with this song, and this is called Wildest Moments.
Wildest Moments is the track, and it's Jessie Ware performing there live at Other Voices in Dingle. Dylan Haskins telling us all about that earlier. And you can watch Jessie along with De Laurentiis, the Russanango family and Jape on Other Voices this Sunday on RTE2 television 10 to 11. Othervoices.ie is the website if you want.